3 price cuts, 2 months, same model family. On July 30th, OpenAI cut GPT-5.6 Luna by 80% and Terra by 20%. 3 weeks later, on August 21st, Sol's API and credit pricing dropped over 20% more, and that cut runs for 3 months. That's not one price adjustment, that's a pattern. The family. Sol is the flagship. Terra handles everyday work. Luna is built to be cheap. OpenAI's own materials call Luna our most cost-efficient model. So an 80% cut to the model that was already the cost play is the headline here, not a footnote. Then the August update. Sol at $4 per million input, 20 per million output. That's a 20% cut to input, a 33% cut to output, and OpenAI states both numbers plainly. Cached input tokens run 40 cents. The promotional rate holds at least through November 21st, a deadline, not an indefinite discount. Line it up against OpenAI's own generation history. GPT 5.5 cost $5 per million input tokens. GPT 5.4 cost $2.50. Sol now sits at $4, cheaper than the model it replaced, still pricier than the generation before that. Progress on paper, not a straight line down. So why cut prices on a model OpenAI calls state-of-the-art? On the Artificial Analysis Coding Agent Index, Sol scored 80, 2.8 points above Fable 5, and it did that using less than half the output tokens, less than half the time, and about a third less cost. 2 more state-of-the-art marks: BrowseComp 92.2%, OS World 2.0 62.6%. On OS World specifically, Sol beats Opus 4.8 while burning 85% fewer output tokens. Efficiency is the theme across every one of these numbers, not raw capability alone, but capability per token spent. It's not just Sol. Terra matches GPT 5.5's performance at half the price. Luna beats Fable 5 on Agent's last exam, a professional work benchmark, at a cost per task nearly 99% lower. That number is the real story of this whole family. OpenAI isn't just adding a cheap tier, it's making the cheap tier competitive. None of this is free of caveats. Prompts over 272,000 input tokens get charged at double the input rate and 1.5 times the output rate for the whole request, not just the overflow. Cache writes on GPT 5.6 cost 1.25 times the standard input rate, though cache reads keep the usual 90% discount. Read the fine print before you build a cost model on the headline number. Speed has its own price tag. Fast mode on Sol runs up to 2.5 times faster than standard processing, at twice the price, with no change in intelligence. It replaces OpenAI's old priority processing offering outright. And separately, Sol is landing on Cerebrus hardware at up to 750 tokens per second, which is a different kind of fast. Infrastructure speed, not a pricing tier. Before any of this shipped, OpenAI says it ran its most intensive safety evaluations to date, roughly 700,000 A100 equivalent GPU hours of automated red teaming, aimed specifically at universal jailbreaks, attacks built to work across many prompts, not one narrow trick. Sol, they say, does not cross the cybercritical threshold under their own preparedness framework. There's a catch attached to that safety framing, and it lands on the user, not the model. Individual members have until September 1st to enable advanced account security with hardware-backed passkeys. Miss that date and access to OpenAI's most cyber-capable frontier models reverts to default. The safety pitch comes with a deadline of its own.